Hello friends, I am Bhupen from JFORJS.com. This video is about finding an object is an array or not in JavaScript. Why do we need to find that? Let's go through it. Okay, so this is just our text editor. Let's create a function named traverse array. You can create any method. The idea is to do some operation on an array. I'm using an inbuilt method for each to traversing an array. Let's use this method traverse array and pass an array here. Run this program. Yep, so we are getting an output 1 2 3. So we don't see any problem here. Let's call this method one more time, and this time we are going to pass an object. So for the second method, this function should not do anything because this is not an array. Sorry, I have not saved it. See. So the first function produces the right output, but the second, this particular method here causes me an error because for each is not a method or is not a function for a here, because this is a native method for an array. So how do I fix this problem? Usually people think that the approach could be using the type of operator. Let me tell you why type of will not work here. Let's create a array and find out what is the type of A. Type of A is an object, and let's create an object, empty object, and find out the type of this obj, which again gives me an object. So by using type of operator, we don't have any way to find out what exactly A is. Is it an array or simply a object? Definitely array is also an object, but that doesn't have the method called for each. So what can we do now? So the idea is to have a if condition over here which checks whether A is an array or not. So let's go to the first approach to finding it out. The simplest method would be using a isArray method from the array constructor. Let's try this out this time. Yes, this is working. So for the second method, as this whole piece will be passed as A here and it's not an array, that's why it is not going to this particular code and working fine. So there are multiple approaches. I'm going to show you the other few approaches. The other approach would be using a constructor property. So if I write a dot constructor equals to array, this should produce me the same output. Yes. The other way to use a instance of operator, this is also working. The fourth and the final approach, as of now I know, is using a toString method from object prototype. Array is also having a toString method, but which will not work for us because it produces a string representation of the content inside it. Let me show you what I want to show here is object dot prototype dot toString, and I want to call this method with the scope of this a, and which will produce me the output of a string output object array. Okay, that's it. Thank you guys.